Jocelyn McClellan here with Fit Mission Makeup, here on this channel, coming at you with a whole face look. Now, I already had my eyes done before I started the look, so I could just walk you through a highlight and contour method. Now, this method, I want it to be quick and easy for you. This is supposed to be a quick makeup with easy application, all in one compact for your 3D foundation, your makeup right here. So stay tuned for this tutorial and let's get rocking and rolling. Get it started. Here we go. I have not talked you through this for the longest time, and so many of you have been coming to me with so many questions about this makeup. Yes, it's currently only available in the US, Puerto Rico, doing things a little bit different because it's fall. It's time to change things up. I even threw out my hair. Highlighting contour look for you. I try and keep things pretty natural. If you've been around here for a bit, you know that. If this is something that you want to watch, continue to watch, and the hair tutorials, then stay tuned, subscribe for more. And let's get started. First thing we're gonna start out with, and this is where you can get as personal as you want. Primer, setting spray before makeup application, and that's what I'm gonna be doing today. And we're just gonna throw it on. Put it on my Perfector sponge. This is a dry sponge, beauty blender, whatever you have on hand. You're gonna put that all over, and I keep it dry, and you will see why a little bit later on. Keeping everything sprayed in one area. So step one, prime or use a setting spray before your makeup application. Okay, so this is my makeup palette. In my palette, I have my whole entire face. Yes, she's a little bit used. I have my whole entire face for my highlights, my contours, my lip and cheeks, and also my illuminators. And then on the top, I have my eyeshadows and powders. So I do it kind of different. You can do it however you want. That's the joys of this. It all fits into one compact. Step number one with your highlight is figuring out which brushes you want to do. There's two options, actually even three options that you can start out with. I will go in with my darker color, which is my color that is going to address anything that I have. So I have a darker nose, a little bit darker areas under here. So I'm going to go in, address those colors. I'm actually going to use the 30-second hack brush. This is the contour end of the 30-second hack brush. I'm going to use that end right here, just like that, in order to go in with that darker color that I have right here. So this is super easy. Just put the colors you want into your compact. They're magnetized. Stay inside there and you're good to go. I'm going to address those darker areas that I have to go into with a stippling motion because I have a little bit textured skin, a little bit of sun damage, all that jazz. Now keep in mind with this highlight, it will, as the winter goes on, it's gonna be a little bit darker than I need it to be. That's where my other color is gonna come into place. So number one, I place the darker first. If you have that baby butt skin and you don't have to go in and dress those colors, then you can go in with your lighter color and all as well. But I ain't got that baby butt skin. I got issues. We're gonna address them. And maybe it's it. Okay. So I'm going in, applying it on my nose because my nose has redness. This is gonna help cancel that redness out with the yellow tones that are in the makeup. This is a cream foundation. So cream foundations are perfect for mature skin, are perfect for all types of skin, and you will love them. They sit on top of the skin, they don't absorb in, they're non-cosmetogenic, and I love them with all my heart. And you can go as thick with this application or as light with this application. I just get it on, you know, just like that. Next, I'm actually going to go in with the Detail Hack Brush. This is this brush right here with the flat end. I'm going to go in with this brush and I'm going to contour before I actually do the other magical things. And I'm going to zoom you in so you can see this a little bit better. I'm going to take this end of the brush. I love how it contours. You can sweep it in, you can lift it up, however you want, but you don't want to go too deep. If you have a rounder face, and you need to go on a different angle, just still stay away from going too deep in or else it's gonna make your face look a little dirty. You can turn your brush over if you feel like you have too much and blend it out softly, just like so. We'll do that on the other cheek. And we're just gonna hug those cheekers and blend it out right here in the front so that it's not too heavy and hard. And if you ever feel like yours is a little too muddy or anything, just add a little warmth in there with a different shade. So I even like to mix two contours together, depending on the day, depending on how my face feels that day. It all just depends. I'm gonna go in with a color that has a little bit more warmth for up across my forehead so that I look tan, because I just lost my tan. That's ridiculous. Can I get an amen for all those people out there losing their beautiful tans? And if you're not one to like tans, I'm sorry, but I do. I do. All right, the next step is your lip and cheek. So you can apply whichever color you want. I clearly want to be able to have more than one color in my compact. That's the joys of this compact. It's a little bit bigger, so you can enjoy as many colors as you like. I'm gonna put the color Nude on, and I'm actually gonna mix it with Hollywood. There's Nude, there's Hollywood, those pink colors. So I just take a dab of each and I place them all up on my cheekbone, right hugging where I just contoured. There we go. And get this taken care of. And I'm gonna go in and blend that out. You can actually also apply your highlight colors with this end of this brush too. So they're all, gosh, that double-sided is just magical, right? So good. Now, if you ever get your colors out too far, too much, that, my friend, is the joys of a cream foundation, because you can go in and fix it. And that's my trick as to why I do the second highlight first, is so that if I ever get it out too much, because some days I get a little bit carried away, but I can go clean that up without having to put layer upon layer upon layer of makeup on, and it just gives me a nice cleaned up look. So I'm just blending that out. Next, the lighter highlight color. These are your foundations, your lighter color. You don't need other makeups after or before them. They are your foundation. We call them a highlight, but they are your foundation because they are highlighting your face. So I'm gonna go in with that lighter color with the small detail end of the detail hack brush, and I'm just going to press it in. And because I have more mature skin, and because I have a lot of wrinkles and everything's just mushing together under my eyes, I'm stippling it on, and I'm working all this out here first. Okay, we're gonna brighten this baby up, and I also extend mine out. So when you put it down this line, you have to make sure that you don't get too much because we don't want any creasing, but press it in with this small end of the brush, and then you can go in with these and just make sure it's blended good so you don't have really crazy, like, all over your face. We don't want that. This is what you see with me is what you get. So this is what you get. All right, and then I put a little on the forehead, making sure that I don't have that contour line up there, and just brighten and clean it up. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is go in with that setting spray, and I'm gonna do this before the Illuminator. So here is, remember how I told you to leave it dry? This is what I recommend for so many people, because especially if you're dealing with some mature skin, or if you are somebody that has two different skin types going on, so you have dry patches and you get a little bit oily, that is why I recommend not getting the whole thing wet. Because there are some points on the face, especially if you have a very hydrated under eye, that do better with it just a little bit dry. And then there's other parts on the face that do better with it being a little bit damp to go in and sponge. So that's why I leave it dry on one side and wet on the other. And I also have a trick for powder using the damp side, and I have a trick for Illuminator using the dry side. So I'm gonna spray and spray my forehead. And I suck at spraying, so that's where that dump sponge comes into play too, because I want to get it evenly throughout. Now the sprays on this setting spray, this is Maskcara setting spray, the sprays on it is a little stronger. So that's why I like to go in and spray and then sponge, making sure the application is solid throughout. Next, I'm going to take my powder. Now, depending on your skin type, also depends on where you apply your powder. If you're someone who's a little bit dry or have more, oh my gosh. If you're somebody that's a little bit more dry or have more mature skin, you're going to want to try not to powder under your eyes as much as possible. Now, everybody has different skin types. You gotta figure out which one works best for you, but here's the thing. I only powder in specific areas. For me, my T-zone gets oily, and my T-zone, forehead, nose, chin, and the rest is good to go or more dry. And I want to leave this a little more dewy so my skin looks a little bit more alive. So I'm going to take that perfector sponge, I'm going to take my powder, I'm going to put it in there, making sure it's not too much, especially if you don't have baby bump skin. If you don't have baby bump skin, don't use too much powder, but you're going to press it, you're pressing it. Not just setting it there, you're pressing it on to those areas that get a little bit more oily. And I do have an area that has a bit of acne, so I'm gonna make sure I set that really well with the powder. Go get some on my nose. Some people's noses are dry, so watch out for that. And then if you feel like you just need to get what's ever left over, you may. It's up to you. That's all too. But I like to leave this area without powder. Okay, now the last step is the Illuminator. Now this one's running dry because, not dry, but she's running low. She's running low. So I take that perfector sponge, the dry side of it, and I sweep it into the Illuminator. So with this makeup, the Illuminator is what a lot of people call a highlight, but our highlight is our foundation. So we call this the Illuminator. Get the Illuminator on the sponge, and then I'm going to press it on top of the cheekbone into the areas that I want it to be used. Brand new Illuminator here. I have not even put in my compact yet. I absolutely love it. It's got a little bit of the pinky color. I'm gonna try this one on for size. Place that baby on there. Press it in. You can go on the brow bone. You can go down your nose a bit, on your cupid's bow. Just get it wherever you want. Heck, do your whole face. I'm gonna show you lips. Now one thing you can do as well is get a little bit of setting spray and spray it or put it on your lip. Let it dry. And you want to make sure, girls, you want to make sure that if you brushed your teeth, everything, I actually like to go over them with a damp rag and make sure I got off all the cooties that are on the lips, but you want to make sure that those are all off so that you don't get a creasing in here. And then you're going to apply your lips. So I'm going to take my contour. I'm taking my contour. And I'm going to line my lips with my contour. You can also line your lips in the nude color. Line it right up. And I go along the very edge of my lips. Okay, once that's done, I blend it out just a bit. So it's not a harsh line. We don't want a harsh line. And then I'm gonna pick whichever lip color I want, whether I wanna have an easy lip or a little more decked out lip. I'm gonna take the color that I put on my cheeks, the pink color, and I'm going to apply that. And she's just a softie. She's kind of got a coral pink color to her with a little touch of gold shimmer. And with that contour, it kind of gives it a little more brown nude effect. I love it. And you can actually highlight your lips as well. You can take that illuminator and pop it in the center and just soften that center part up. Just like so. Let it sit for just a bit so that it is matte, so it's gonna help it stay just a bit so when you're not keeping the lips together, and then you're good to go. And now we're good. So I walked you through your highlight, a little bit of a darker shade, a brightening shade. I walked you through your contour, your lip and cheek, your illuminator, your setting sprays, your powders, and you're good to go. You want this makeup to be as thinly applied as possible, making with good coverage, the kind of coverage you want. Every single person is so different with how they like to wear their makeup, so I challenge you, I tell you, you should. You get to experiment with your look and see which one you like best.